Hey there, fabulous ladies, and welcome to the Feminine Energy Motivation Channel. I'm your host, Cynthia Peralta, and boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you today. But before we dive in, let's get those thumbs warmed up and hit that like button, share this video with your girlfriends, and don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content. All right, let's jump right into it, shall we? Today's topic is all about high value men. Yep, those elusive creatures we've all heard about. Now grab your virtual coffee because we're about to spill the tea on what makes these guys tick and how you can catch one for yourself. First off, let's set the stage. Picture this. High value men are like the hottest commodity in high school. Remember that one guy every girl was crushing on? Well, multiply that by 10 and you've got yourself a high value man. These guys have options and they're not afraid to take their time. So if you're expecting a whirlwind of romance straight out of the rom-com, you might need to adjust your expectations, honey. But fear not, landing a high value man is totally doable. It's all about understanding what makes them tick and how to actually stand out from the crowd. From confidence to self-care to keeping your social media game on point. We've got you covered. And hey, we'll even tackle some of those spicy topics like OnlyFans, public embarrassment, and the importance of body count. Yep, we're diving deep, ladies, but don't worry, we'll keep it light and fun, just like a girls' night in. So like I said, grab your coffee or your cocktail, grab your favorite cozy blanket, snuggle up, and get ready to laugh, learn, and maybe even blush a little. This is the Feminine Energy Motivation Channel, and we're here to empower you to attract and keep that high value man of your dreams. All right, ladies, are you ready to dive into the wild world of high value men? Let's do this. Let's go, girls. All right, so ladies, welcome, like I said, to today's discussion on the qualities of high value men in relationships. In today's fast-paced dating landscape, high value men stand out not just for their attractiveness, but for their unwavering confidence, commitment to self-care, and relentless pursuit of personal growth. What a dream, right? I'm sorry if you hear my cat meowing in the background. She's getting a little impatient with me, but hey. All right. So these high-value men in today's fast-paced world, they're not necessarily players or chasers, but rather individuals who understand their worth and they prioritize genuine connections. I know, hard to believe, right? Bear with me. Okay. Throughout this session, we will delve into the intricacies of dating high-value men, helping you to understand them a little bit more, and achieving, hopefully at some point, relationship success with these kind of men. All right? I'll shed light on the importance of navigating the dating game with intentionality and self-awareness, particularly in the realm of online dating, where the lines between casual encounters and meaningful connections become a blur. We will explore the nuances of commitment and effort required from both parties in cultivating a relationship with high-value men. From setting standards to nurturing intuition, I will actually guide you and offer invaluable insights into building lasting connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Moreover, we will delve into the delicate matter of reputation management in the dating world. I'll address the pitfalls of publicly embarrassing romantic partners and the significance of safeguarding one's reputation in the pursuit of love. Lastly, we will confront gender roles and societal expectations in relationships, and I will share personal anecdotes and reflections on commitment, fidelity, and the impact of lavish displays of wealth on potential partners. So sit back, relax, and prepare to gain a deeper understanding of what it truly means to date and build meaningful relationships with high-value men. All right, welcome to an enlightening journey in the realm of love, dating, and self-discovery. All right, ladies, so let's talk about high-value men. First and foremost, it's essential to understand that these men have options, lots of them, like I said before. You're not the only fish in the sea for them. they're often juggling multiple potential partners at once. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that they're playing the field or being promiscuous with everyone, but rather they have a wide array of choices. Think of it like this. High-value men are the equivalent of the hottest girl in high school. Remember how many guys were chasing after her? Well, it's the same for these men, regardless of their age, whether they're 28, 26, or 35, doesn't matter, right? You can bet that there's a long line of women vying for their attention. So, finding and attracting a high-value man can be quite the challenge, okay? So, let's talk about something else. These guys are not desperate. They have options, and they're not afraid to take their time. So if you're hoping for that 22-year-old who was all over you, clinging onto every word, you're not likely to find that type of behavior with these types of men. If that's what you're after, hey, you're out there. I mean, believe me, that those men are everywhere, okay? But if you're looking for something different, something deeper, well, you might just find it with a high-value man. I don't know. That's up to you, right? Now, when it comes to high-value men, their marketability and value only increase with time. As they age, succeed, and gain wisdom, their worth just keeps going up. So keep this in mind. You're not dealing with someone whose value is going to decline over time. On the contrary, it's only going to keep rising. The better they become, the wiser they grow, and the more they achieve, like a real estate transaction. That's right, they're an asset, not a liability, okay? Now, something crucial about high-value men that you need to understand. They don't chase, they attract. They're not interested in playing games or engaging in the whole chase dynamic, right? Instead, they appreciate the process of courtship. They truly do, right? And they enjoy getting to know someone authentically. So you won't catch them playing the waiting game or analyzing every single one of their text messages, or even yours, all right? High-value men focus on building genuine connections and surrounding themselves with positive people in their lives. So ladies, bring your positivity. Do not be a negative Nancy. No one likes those people anyways, all right? No offense to any Nancys out there. All right. They're not drawn to games or that manipulation that comes with it. They value honesty and authenticity above all else. All right? Now, we're going to talk about confidence when it comes to high-value men. Now, it's important to understand that while they may exude confidence, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're immune to insecurities or even anxieties. They're human, just like the rest of us. However, their confidence runs deep. It's not just surface level. It's rooted in years of hard work, dedication, and self-belief. They've put in the hours to truly believe in their own value and abilities, and that's what shines through. That's what's attracting you, honey. That shiny little gem in the bottom of the ocean, right? So while they may not openly share their vulnerabilities, you can sense their unwavering confidence in their demeanor and their actions. All right? Now, we're going to talk about the importance of self-care when it comes to high-value men. Now, it's not about having a perfect physique or being a bodybuilder with a six-pack abs, right? Instead, it's about prioritizing health and well-being. High-value men typically take care of their body, through regular exercise and a balanced diet. They understand the importance of maintaining physical health, and while they're not seeking perfection, they do make an effort to stay healthy and fit. All right? In turn, they expect their partners to also prioritize self-care and take care of their own bodies. Why do you think you were attracted to him to begin with? That's part of being a high-value person, high-value woman, or high-value man. All right? You're attracted for a reason. Why? Well, because they hold themselves to that standard, right? So it's about mutual respect and valuing each other's health and well-being in the relationship. Encourage each other. Be positive with each other. Hey, honey, let's go for a jog together. Hey, honey, let's eat a balanced meal tonight. Let's make sure that it's super healthy. Let's get ourselves maybe a salad, a soup, or whatever, right? Whatever it is, right? If you guys are already mutually dating, the best thing to do when you're supporting your partner really is just to do it yourself, okay? Don't leave him in the turntable, right, spinning by himself, okay? All right, now let's chat about something else that's really important when it comes to high-value men. They are not clingy. They're not constantly seeking your approval or your validation. Now, I know some of us might crave that constant attention and reassurance from our partners, but you're generally not going to find that with a high-value man. These guys have life goals, ambitions, and a vision for their future. They're not content with just staying home every night at 5 o'clock like your dad might have. And hey, there's nothing wrong with loving your dad. But if he wasn't exactly a high-value man with big aspirations, it's a whole different ballgame. You see, you can't expect a high-value man to fit into that traditional mold of always being home on time, especially if he's out there chasing his dreams. There's a conflict there between wanting him to be like your dad and wanting him to think big and go after his goals. All right? So ladies, please, it's important to understand this dynamic and be open to supporting your partner's ambitions, even if it means he's not always available at the drop of a hat. It's about finding that balance and respecting each other's aspirations in the relationship. And I promise you, honey, if you're pursuing your goals as well, he will probably more than likely support you as well in your endeavors. And he will be completely understanding of yours as well. Okay? So get that bag, girls. All right. Now, let's talk about something crucial when it comes to high-value men as well, right? They take responsibility. A real man with true leadership qualities owns up to his mistakes and actively works to improve them. It's all about character and integrity, and guess what? Same needs to come from you. As you start to recognize the signs of becoming a high-value woman yourself, you'll realize that you've been through your fair share of relationships. You know the game inside and out. You can spot the red flags from a mile away, and you're not impressed by someone putting on a perfect facade. Been there, done that, right, ladies? I know I have. High-value men aren't interested in playing games. They've seen it all before, and they're ready to move past the dating scene and onto bigger things like building a family and pursuing their dreams alongside a partner who's on the same page. But before we dive into the many rules for dating high-value men, right, let's talk about where we meet people these days. It's not like it was back in the day, right? Nowadays, there's Tinder, there's Bumble, there's bars, there's clubs, there's work, there's church, you name it. I don't know. There's all kinds of places, right? Gas station. All right, but here's an eye-opening statistic for you. Couples who meet online have a significantly higher divorce rate compared to those who meet through friends and family. Yeah, the research is there, okay? So, that doesn't mean it doesn't work, right? But it's crucial to be mindful of where you're marketing yourself and what you're looking for. If you're swiping on Tinder, be prepared for the expectations that come with it. Sure, there are exceptions, to every rule, but if you're looking for long-term success, the odds are better when you meet someone through mutual connections. There's many reasons for that. They might be able to say, hey, what is this person like? They might have a desire to want to meet you through somebody or meet their significant other through somebody else because that other person knows you really well, and they might be able to give them the tea. I don't know, right? There's many different reasons for why these kind of men are not on dating apps like that. So, with that said, we're going to dive even more into the other things to consider when it comes to dating high-value men, all right? So, we're going to have a heart-to-heart about something really important, but we have to have it, okay? If you view men as the enemy, you're going to have a tough time finding a high-value man. That negativity needs to stop. I can't tell you how many times in casual conversations, even overhearing other women talking, I have heard women say, there's no good men out there, all men are garbage, especially the older I get, there's less good quality men out there. Guess what, honey? That's not going to help you land another man. That's not going to help you, especially to find a high-value man. High-value men are not out there dating women that are chastising, criticizing, belittling all kinds of different men. I get it. You've had your poor little heart broken. I get it. But it's time to move on. It's time to grow up and put on those big girl panties, okay? I want to keep it real with you guys. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to sugarcoat. Yes, I want you to tap into your feminine energy, okay? But I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you. This is part of me being really good at what I do. And that is to help you guys see the other side, to help you guys see where you're faulting. Because if you don't see that, you cannot grow into the person that you are desiring to be. Okay? All right. So I apologize. Like I said, it's a heart to heart. Us girlfriends, we need to have that. That's why I'm here. Okay? And I love you for it. Trust me. I know it's not easy. I've been on the receiving end as well. Okay? But I'm glad it was there. I'm glad I received it. When I needed it the most, those people, still to this day, are my bestest of friends. And you know why they became my best friends? Because they kept it real with me. They were honest with me. Those are the kind of friends I want around me. The ones that will tell me to my face, the ones that have high achieving goals, the ones that have aspirations, the ones that have experience, the ones that are even older than me. I even tell my own children this, I prefer to go to people that have had life experiences and have more wisdom than I do, and typically they're going to be older than you. That's not always the case, because I have met people that are older than me that do not have the wisdom and the experience, okay? But if I'm going to go to someone for advice, and I tell my kids the same thing, I want you guys, if anything ever happens to me, I want you guys to go to people for advice that are much older and experienced and wiser. Don't ever go to friends that are your age. Don't ever go to your girlfriends, go to your peers, go to, whatever. I get it. Some people have had lots of experiences. I've had girlfriends that were my age, maybe a couple months older, that I grew up with, and they had a lot of wisdom and a lot of advice. And some of it was really good. But the way they led their life was not what I was expecting. They were not leading by example. Okay? All right. Now, now that I've got that side out of me, let's get back into it. All right. Now, like I said, if you view men as the enemy, you're going to have a tough time. All right? Especially finding a high value man. It's as simple as that. Why do I say this? Well, think about it. Many times, especially our own mothers who have gone through divorce or even had negative experiences with men, have inadvertently passed on that mindset on to their daughters, to their granddaughters, to whoever, okay? Excuse me. All right. So keep that in mind, right? From a young age, these daughters hear their mothers talk negatively about men, whether it's their own fathers or other men in their lives. Over time, these daughters grow up with the belief that men are the enemy. And let me tell you, if you hold on to that belief, it's going to be challenging to attract a high-value man into your life, or any man at all. Okay? I'm not saying any man at all, because let's be honest, there's also... I shouldn't say this term, so I apologize. I hope it doesn't offend anybody when I say this, but there are garbage men out there, okay? That are incredibly broken, that have a lot of issues and traumas, and the last thing you need to be doing is dating a man that has all these issues and all these traumas, because guess what? That's gonna spill over into you. And you will become a low market woman. So let's not do that. All right? Okay. Now, it's time to shift our perspective. Instead of viewing men as the enemy, let's approach relationships with an open heart and trust me, it's essential if you want to find a high value man who will treat you with the love and respect that you deserve. You dream about being treated like a queen, like a princess, right? To be loved and doted over, to be respected, to be admired, to be encouraged and supported and protected, all of these things, right? And guess what? You're more likely to find that with a high value man, because he's done the work. He's been raised in a way where you do not do the things that low value men do. He has a firm understanding and a grasp, okay? Or not necessarily raised that way, but he did the work and he's healed himself. All right? Now, okay. Getting more comfortable here. Let's talk about something crucial. Landing a high-value man is just the beginning, ladies. Once you start dating him, the real work begins. It's not about basking in the glory of, oh my God, I'm dating Larry. He's so amazing. No. It's about whether you can keep him. You see, just because you've landed a high-value man doesn't mean you've got him forever. This isn't a 3-month trial where you get to decide if you want to renew the contract. No, this is real life, and it takes effort to maintain a relationship with a high-value man. Now, you might think everything's perfect in the beginning, but truth often reveals itself down the line. Maybe 6 months later or even a year later, you start questioning who you're really dating. And let me tell you, if you can't keep up with a high-value man, you'll eventually lose him. So ladies, it's essential to understand that keeping a high-value man requires effort from both sides. It's not just about attracting him. It's about maintaining the relationship and putting in the work to ensure that it thrives. Are you up for the challenge? Maybe some of you have already gotten up off of your chairs and walked away with your little blankie. I don't know, right? But if you're still here and you're listening, let's do our part and let's make it work. Now, we're going to dive deeper. Like I told you, I'm giving you the juice today, ladies. I'm getting into it. So, all right. Now, this next one might not be easy to hear, but it is important, okay? You ready? Body count matters. Yes, it does. And men may not always vocalize it, but it does matter. Think of it this way. When you're interviewing someone for a job, and you see they've had 20 different jobs in the last 10 years, it raises some red flags, right? It's the same thing with relationships. If a man sees a high body count, he may question your ability to commit and stay faithful. And let's address the issue of one-night stands. Okay. When you engage in casual hookups and expect it to stay between the two of you, let me tell you, his level of loyalty to you is minimal. He may end up bragging about it to his friends, and word gets out. Trust me, it always does. There's no such thing as a one-night stand keeping a secret. So if you find yourself constantly engaging in casual encounters, it might give off the wrong impression to high-value men. They might see it as a sign that you're not looking for something serious. And guess what? High-value men are not going to stick around. Have you ever heard the saying that a woman can tell within the first few minutes if a man is worth sticking around for? Well, guess what? Men can do the same. They can quickly gauge whether you're someone they'd introduce to their friends and family or just someone to have fun with. That's why it's crucial to carry yourself with class and integrity. You can't fake class. It's either genuine or it's not. So let's focus on cultivating real values and principles because authenticity always shines through. Let's aim for real class, not just an act. This next topic might not sit well with everyone, but it's important to address. Okay? Picture the scenario. You've caught the eye of a high-value man, and despite him being in a relationship, he's drawn to you. Eventually, he ends up, terminating things or whatever with his partner to be with you. Now, fast forward 6 to 12 months, and you find out he's seeing someone else on the side. Here's the thing. If your relationship started off with you being the side chick, you can't be shocked or upset if history repeats itself. It's crucial to understand that just because someone is considered high value doesn't automatically mean that they're ready to settle down and commit. Everyone's timeline for marriage differs. So do yours, all right? Some may be ready in a few years, while others might take a decade or even more, right? It's up to you to tune into your intuition and pick up on any signs that indicate whether this man is genuinely interested in a long-term commitment or if he's just looking for a good time. Trust your gut instincts, but don't rush to conclusions too hastily, okay? Give it time. Observe and assess before making any major decisions. Remember, your intuition is your best guide in navigating these situations, so listen closely to that inner voice, and when the time is right, make the choices that align with your desires and goals, and trust yourself. And remember that your happiness and fulfillment matter most. All right, next we're going to talk about something that might seem harmless but can actually cause a lot of trouble. Bragging about how amazing your man is in bed. Trust me, it's a big no-no. I've seen it happen firsthand. All right? A friend of mine used to go on and on about her man's skills in the bedroom, and soon enough, her cousins were hitting him up for details. It's uncomfortable, unnecessary, and frankly, nobody else's business. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy to say, but the reality is there's a lot of women out there that think that that's actually the right thing to do. And believe me, guess what, girls? Do not do it. It doesn't make you look any better, and it definitely increases the chances of something awkward happening. Let's just say that, okay? So let's make a pact here, right now. What happens between you and your partner behind closed doors stays between you two. Okay? Keep those intimate details private and focus on building a strong and respectful relationship instead. Your bedroom antics are sacred and should be treated as such, and a high value man is going to like that and even respect and admire that. Okay? All right. Now, next we're going to address something that we've all heard a million times, but it is this. You're in control. You set the pace, you set the standards. Gone are the days of worrying about the first date and rushing into intimacy just because he's got what you want. Think about it this way. The sooner you get intimate, the more you might signal that it's not that valuable to you. Yeah, not that valuable at all. Okay? But that's the problem. What are we talking about today? High value men. And what are they looking for? High value women. All right. And let's be real. A man might wonder how many others you've actually clicked with just as easily and slept with. All right. Remember that book? I'm sure some of you have probably heard of it. It's by Steve Harvey, right? Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Yeah, that one. Great book. If you haven't had it, if you haven't looked at it, if you haven't listened to it on Audible or whatever, I highly recommend it, right? But in that book, he suggests waiting 90 days, I believe it's 90 days, right, before taking that step. There's a reason for it. It's a strategy, and he dives into it a little bit more. And you know what? It is solid advice. So protect your value, ladies. Take your time, and don't give it up too easily. Your worth is worth waiting for. High value, okay? All right, now we're going to talk about OnlyFans. Yeah, so I'm basically, somewhere in California. I'm not going to give any details, right? Because this is where I do business sometimes. And, all right. And this woman who is absolutely drop dead gorgeous, she just kind of stands up and everybody notices her, right? And she starts sharing about her struggles and whatever it is that she does for a living. And then suddenly tears start to flow. Now, typically, when someone cries in a situation like that, right, there's typically a lot more going on beneath the surface. So she starts to kind of open up about how she's been struggling and how she's been tempted to start making some easy money on OnlyFans, right? Everything from, provocative photos to non-provocative photos to feet, whatever it is, right? So who wouldn't be tempted when you can make anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a month, right? Of course it's tempting. But here's the thing. Those decisions that you make doing those things are permanent. I don't care what anybody says. Me being for over 20 years, I was in cybersecurity, right? I know that the internet, there's always a trace. It doesn't matter how much you delete and scrub. That is still there. So, now, you got to remember, because it's permanent, you've got to now explain it down the road potentially to your kids, your husband, everyone. Think of your family, okay? But in today's world of social media and cameras everywhere, there's no hiding anything. It's out there for the world to see. Sure, a guy might have fun with a girl on OnlyFans. When it comes to actually building a family, though, and a future, that's a whole different story. Trust me. I've seen it happen, actually. So, let's focus on playing the odds, not the exceptions, okay? I'm not here to talk about, I heard that, there was this woman and she was, previous porn star or OnlyFans. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. I've heard those stories too. Those are exceptions, not the odds. I'm here to give you the facts when it comes to the odds, okay? Those 1-2 times does not explain the odds of it actually happening. All right? All right. Okay. So, like I said, you know, this is real stuff, real talk that we're having here today. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying these kinds of topics, because believe it or not, there's a lot more coming up that we're going to get into. And we're going to have these juicy ladies nights, all right? I'm coming up with some other stuff. I have some other stuff up my sleeve that I'm working on right now, and I'm hoping that you guys can join me live at some point so we can dive into some of your topics that you guys want to ask me, all right? Okay, now we're going to talk about relationships and reputation. First off, let's talk about the cardinal rule. Never, ever, ever do this, ladies. Never, ever publicly embarrass your man. I've seen it happen way too many times. It's absolutely just disheartening when I see it. Okay? You make a personal dig at him in public, and before you know it, he's out that freaking door. Faster than you can even say door. If there's an issue, address it privately. Have a mature conversation about it. Let me tell you, high-value men value respect. That's of utmost importance, ladies. All men value respect, but especially high-value men. And that includes respecting their dignity, especially in public. All right? Now let's talk about what you bring to the table. It's not all about him. You've got strengths and skills too, baby girl. All right? Whether it's your finances, family, whether it's faith, or even fitness, and even relationships. Yeah, some of those past experiences that you've had, believe it or not, you bring those skills to the table and your strengths, okay? Highlight those strengths. That's what makes you valuable. And any high-value man worth his salt will recognize and appreciate that, not belittle you or talk down to you or make you feel like you're any less than. Okay? Next up, this is the big one and the one that I love. Reputation matters. Yes, it does, ladies. Okay? Sure, character is who you really are, but your reputation precedes you. I have literally seen women and men that have left their towns, that have left their states because they developed a bad reputation. Don't be one of those, okay? High-value men do their due diligence. They'll ask around about you, so keep your reputation clean. Even those things that you don't think anybody's going to find out about. You can't trust people around you. Keep your reputation clean. Never badmouth your exes. It's not classy, and it reflects poorly on you too. Okay? Keep it simple and respectful when discussing past relationships. You can say things like, well, we just had our differences and we just didn't get along. There were some things that kind of went haywire, but, I prefer not to talk bad about my ex. We just went our separate ways. That was it. That's it. I mean, it doesn't have to be this lavish experience of explanations, okay? And if he had his good qualities, you can mention those things. I'm not saying don't, but don't get stuck there, because then he's going to wonder, well, then if it was so great, then why did you guys break up, right? So, the best thing to do really is just avoid as much as you can any details, okay? It just didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Simple. Keep it straight. Keep it simple. Don't delve into the details, okay? All right. Now, let's not forget about social media. Your profiles matter more than you think. A high-value man might take one look at your social media and decide you're not worth pursuing. Even if it's just like little things here and there that are, well, it's not the whole entire picture. Well, you know what? But if it looks like a hot mess, please, girls, go clean it up and present yourself in the best light possible, okay? Lastly, if you're all about competing with your man, trying to one-up him in business or life or whatever, don't expect to attract an alpha male. I'll tell you that right now. I did a whole video on this on the Masculine Energy Motivation channel. If you guys are really curious and really interested in what that means to be an alpha male, check out that video. Go to the Masculine Energy Motivation channel on YouTube. If I can, I will go ahead and put that link in the description of this video. But I talk about all the various personality traits, characteristics, and things of the various of men, right? From alpha, sigma, beta, you name it. Okay. All right. Let's get back to it. So, high-value men are not interested in competing with their partners. It's just not attractive. They want, instead, a supportive, equal partner to build a life with. Here's something that I've said before, and I love saying this, and I will stand by this wholeheartedly. Behind every successful and powerful man that is absolutely high value and attractive usually, right, when it comes to a married man anyway, is also a very powerful and amazing woman. That's right. She does not compete with him. She supports him. She does not belittle him. She does not try to break him down because she's jealous of either it's, the competition of other women, for example, bidding for his affection or his attention. No, instead what she's doing, she's supporting him. She's encouraging him. She's telling him, baby, you got this. Believe it or not, the men who cheat are the ones who come home to a nagging wife, a wife that is upset, bitter, tired, whatever it may be. And why is he gone all the time? And I've said this in another one of my videos. If you haven't checked out my other videos, please do. I highly recommend them, of course. Of course I recommend them. But there's a book that I highly recommend if you haven't already picked it up. It's called For Women Only by Shanti Feldon. I'm telling you right now, I'll put that on the screen as well, or maybe even in the description. Please, please, please pick up that book. And I'm telling you, it's a short read. It's not that long. If you're not a reader, get it on Audible. Okay, you can listen to it on the way to work. Highly, highly recommend that book. Amazing, amazing stuff in there. And one of the things that Shanti Feldon points out, and this is based off of research and studies, which is what I've also been doing. I've been researching and studying, and also, reevaluating some of the studies as of modern society now, as in 2024. Okay. So what I'm saying is, one of the things that is a detractor for men is, and why they typically tend to cheat, it's because they're getting more value and respect outside of the home. When they come home to their wife, she's not taking care of herself. She's upset. She's tired. She's cranky. She's belittling him. She's disrespecting him, whatever it may be. Okay. It's not a and, it's a or, okay? Or disrespecting him, or not treating herself right, not valuing herself, right? It doesn't matter at the end of the day to a man if you look absolutely perfect, right? But what he wants is that you're still showing effort, that you still care, that you still value him, that you still respect him. So ladies, I'm telling you, the best thing you can do, I'm not saying that you're here to completely 100% detract a man from cheating, because at the end of the day, if a man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat, right? But what I'm saying is, if you want the odds, again, going back to what I said earlier, I'm not here about exceptions. I'm here about odds. The odds of a man cheating on a woman, of a man cheating on a woman that is absolutely happy at home are next to none. Trust me on that one, okay? All right. Now, so next, let's talk about something that might actually ruffle some feathers if it hasn't already. Because I've been keeping it really real with you guys. All right. Your friendships with other men. I know. You might think I'm old-fashioned or extreme, but hear me out. And this is something that I personally have struggled with. I have a lot of male friends. I tend to get along with men a lot better than I do with women. And there's various reasons for why. Okay? But listen to this. Having male friends when you're in a serious relationship, it's a no-go. Trust me. I've been around high-value men enough to know, even if your male friend insists that he's not interested, believe me, he cares. And it doesn't matter if you've known him since grade school or he's gay or whatever, right? Having too many male friends sends the wrong message. Here's the thing. When a man is considering a future with you, he's watching closely. He's wondering what kind of mother you'll be, and he's judging based on how you treat him and your relationships with others. If he's not taking you out in public, introducing you to friends and family, it's a sign. He might like you for fun, but he's not seeing a long-term future. Now, let's talk about something else. How you attract, we're going to talk about attitude, all right? How you react to experiences matters a lot. Imagine you're on a date and he's trying to impress you, taking you to fancy restaurants, luxury spas, private jets, right? If you're constantly unimpressed, comparing everything to something better that you've experienced, it's a complete turnoff. Show appreciation, ladies. Even if you've been there before, who cares? You don't need to bring that up. It's about the experience altogether, not where you've been. And let's touch on the topic of virginity. I'm not here to preach or judge, right? It's your choice. Based on your faith or personal beliefs, I really don't care. I'm just sharing with you, again, going back to the odds, and I'm sharing with you statistics and research that have been done. All right, I'm breaking it down in a simplistic manner so it doesn't sound too mumbo jumbo when it comes to statistics and all of that. Right. But remember, your attitude towards new experiences really matter. Whether it's your first time at a restaurant or your first time flying first class, show enthusiasm. It's attractive and shows you're open to new adventures. Okay? So, keep these things in mind as you navigate relationships. Your actions and attitudes can make all the difference in attracting and keeping a high-value man. Now, before we wrap it up, I just want to say a big thank you for tonight. This spot right here, absolutely incredible. I mean, talk about an experience, right? I unleashed on you guys a little bit today, so thank you for your patience. And also, thank you for inviting me. Honestly, I know these are topics that you guys have been asking about and wanting me to do an episode on, so here it is. But there's a lot more coming. And leave a comment. Let me know what other topics you want me to cover. I want to hear about them. Okay, you can also reach out to me via email. Some of you prefer to reach out to me on Instagram, and that's okay too. Okay, I'll put my handle for Instagram in the description. All right, so seriously, ladies, it's been such a blast. And hey, even if you've been around the block and seen it all, always remember to show your appreciation. Trust me, even if he's not saying it, he's definitely wondering if you're comparing him to 5 other guys with deeper pockets. So let's keep that in mind, shall we? You know, us ladies, we've got a knack for overthinking things, right? I mean, we've got a whole universe of thoughts swirling around up here. But half the time, we don't even share them. It's like we're running our own little secret thought society up here, right? So whether my little nuggets of wisdom have you nodding in agreement or rolling your eyes, just remember, it's all in good fun. After all, life's too short not to laugh, right? And hey, if we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we laugh at? Okay? All right, ladies. Until next time, keep being fabulous, and remember, gratitude is always in vogue. Cheers.